Ever wonder how one of the most recognizable cars of the 2000s, a car so massive and powerful it felt invincible, ended up as a relic of a bygone age? Imagine if I told you that something as basic as the price at the pump defeated the Hummer rather than competition. Early in the 2000s, the Hummer was a statement rather than only a vehicle. Unquestionably large, it tore down the streets and attracted attention everywhere it passed. If you possessed one, it was like having a personal billboard yelling, "I've made it!" Adventurers swore by it, but inside its strong facade was a ticking time bomb that nobody noticed approaching. Sadly, the Hummer's reign didn't last. The tides of fortune turned, and the once mighty beast found itself abandoned and forgotten. What goes up must come down, especially when it's got the fuel economy of a small country. The Hummer's insatiable thirst for fuel became its Achilles heel. Yes, the Hummer was ultimately killed off by that most mundane of things, the price of petrol. As fuel prices soared, the Hummer's appeal plummeted. But let's rewind a bit, shall we? To truly understand the Hummer, we need to go back to its origins. We must return to the beginning, that period when the Hummer's origins were firmly anchored on the battlefield, to realize how it evolved from an automotive powerhouse to an industry cautionary tale. Born out of the military vehicle meant for ruggedness and usefulness, the Hummer came from the Humvee. It was designed to be a military workhorse, capable of handling the toughest conditions. The Humvee, as it was known in its military guise, was designed for one purpose and one purpose only, to conquer any terrain. Whether it was rocky mountains or sandy dunes, the Humvee could handle it all. It was rugged, it was unstoppable, and it didn't care much for fuel economy. In the military, performance and reliability were paramount. In the heat of battle, miles per gallon are somewhat less important than surviving an explosion. The Humvee's robust design made it a favorite among soldiers, and its legacy was cemented on the battlefield. From the deserts of the Middle East to the jungles of South America, the Humvee proved its mettle time and again. It was a true warrior, built to endure the harshest environments and the most dangerous missions. Its success in the military eventually caught the eye of civilians. People wanted a piece of that rugged, unstoppable power for themselves. And so, the Hummer was born, transitioning from a military icon to a civilian status symbol. The civilian Hummer retained much of the Humvee's DNA. It was still big, still brash, and still a beast on the road. But now, it was also a symbol of luxury and excess, a way for people to showcase their success and adventurous spirit. Despite its eventual downfall, the Hummer remains an icon. Its story is a testament to the allure of power and the inevitability of change. From the battlefields to the bullet holes, journeys will transform and so, as the sun sets on the Hummer's head, we remember it not just as a gas-guzzling monster, but as a symbol of time bigger than its power and the road it's ours to conquer. But then something strange happened. The Hummer, originally designed for military use, began to capture the imagination of the public in a way no one could have predicted. The Humvee, this tool of war, caught the eye of the public. Its rugged design and powerful presence were unlike anything people had seen on the civilian market. People saw it bouncing around on the news during the first Gulf War, and they liked what they saw. The Humvee's performance in the harshest conditions made it a symbol of strength and resilience. This wasn't some dainty little car. It was a stark contrast to the small, fuel-efficient vehicles that dominated the roads at the time. This was a machine that meant business. Its imposing size and military-grade capabilities made it stand out in a sea of ordinary cars. And what better way to tell the world you've arrived than to cruise down the road in a vehicle designed to withstand a small nuclear blast? The Hummer became a rolling declaration of power and prestige. Celebrities, never ones to shy away from a statement, jumped on the Hummer bandwagon. They saw the Hummer as the ultimate accessory to their larger-than-life personas. Arnold Schwarzenegger, a man who built a career on being larger than life, famously owned several. His endorsement of the Hummer only fueled its popularity. Soon, the Hummer wasn't just a car. It became a symbol of success and affluence, a way to showcase one's achievements. It was a status symbol. Owning a Hummer was a way to tell the world that you had made it, that you were part of an elite group. It was a way of saying, "I've made it, and I don't care how much it costs to fill this thing up." The Hummer's fuel consumption was notorious, but for its owners, that was part of the appeal. It was a testament to their wealth and their ability to afford such extravagance. The Hummer's rise to fame was meteoric. From the battlefields to the driveways of the rich and famous, it became an icon of a generation. Its legacy, though controversial, is a testament to its impact on automotive history. The late 1990s and early 2000s were the golden age of the SUV. Everyone wanted one, from soccer moms to rappers. And why not? SUVs were big, they were comfortable, and they gave you a commanding view of the road. They were also, it must be said, about as aerodynamic as a brick wall. But hey, who cared about fuel efficiency when petrol was cheaper than bottled water? The Hummer, with its military heritage and go-anywhere attitude, was the king of this SUV jungle. It was the ultimate expression of automotive excess. It was big, it was thirsty, and it was glorious. It was also completely impractical for most people's needs. But practicality was never really the point, was it? Now let's talk about that elephant in the room, or rather, the thirsty hippopotamus in the petrol station. The Hummer guzzled fuel like it was going out of fashion. But in those early days, nobody really seemed to care. Petrol was cheap, and the American dream was all about living large. Who needs a fuel-efficient hatchback when you can have a vehicle that makes a Mini Cooper look like a toy car? The Hummer became a symbol of American might, for better or worse. It was big, it was bold, and it didn't apologize for its thirst. It was the automotive equivalent of a bald eagle screaming America, while doing a burnout with a bald eagle flag billowing in the wind. Paint at the pump gas prices clip, the Hummer's wings. But then, slowly but surely, the winds of change began to blow. The price of oil, that black gold that fueled the Hummer's insatiable appetite, started to creep up. At first it was just a few cents here and there. But then, those cents turned into dollars. And those dollars turned into a whole lot of pain at the pump. Suddenly, owning a Hummer wasn't quite so glamorous. Those long drives to the supermarket started to feel a bit less appealing when you were shelling out a small fortune just to fill the tank. And let's not even talk about what happened when the check engine light came on. The perfect storm recession and record fuel prices. Then came the year 2008, and the world changed. The global economy went into meltdown, and the price of oil went through the roof. It was the perfect storm, and the Hummer, that symbol of American excess, found itself caught right in the middle of it. Suddenly, guzzling gallons of gas wasn't cool anymore. It was downright irresponsible. People who had once proudly paraded their Hummers now found themselves looking for ways to offload them. The secondhand market was flooded with thirsty SUVs, and nobody wanted to buy them. The Hummer, once the king of the road, was now about as popular as a plague of locusts. The American giant stumbles GM's downfall and the Hummer's fate. The Hummer's fall from grace coincided with the struggles of its parent company, General Motors. GM, once the titan of the American auto industry, was in deep trouble. The company was hemorrhaging money, and the Hummer brand, with its plummeting sales and gas-guzzling image, was seen as a liability. The writing was on the wall. The Hummer brand, once synonymous with success and extravagance, was now associated with excess and environmental disregard. It was a relic of a bygone era, a time when gas was cheap and the future seemed limitless. But those days were gone, and the Hummer, like a dinosaur facing extinction, was ill-equipped to adapt to the changing world. Environmental enemy number one, the backlash against gas guzzlers. As if rising gas prices and a global recession weren't enough, the Hummer also faced a growing backlash from environmental groups. The brand became a symbol of everything that was wrong with America's love affair with the automobile. It was big, it was wasteful, and it was harming the planet. The Hummer became the poster child for the environmental movement's fight against climate change. It was the enemy, the target of their scorn. And rightly so, some might argue. After all, this was a vehicle that consumed fuel at an alarming rate, spewing out harmful emissions as it lumbered along. A Hummer reborn, the electric revolution, and a new chapter. The automotive industry is undergoing a seismic shift, and the Hummer is at the forefront of this transformation. In the end, GM had no choice but to pull the plug on the Hummer. The economic downturn and rising fuel prices made it unsustainable. The brand that had once seemed invincible, a symbol of American might, was consigned to the dustbin of automotive history, or so we thought. The Hummer was more than just a vehicle. It was an icon, a statement of power and ruggedness. Fast forward to today, and something rather surprising has happened. The Hummer has been resurrected, but not in the way anyone expected. The Hummer is back, but this time it's gone electric. This new iteration is a bold move by GM, aiming to blend the Hummer's legendary toughness with modern sustainability. Yes, you heard that right. The Hummer, once a poster child for gas-guzzling excess, has been reincarnated as a battery-powered beast. The gas-guzzling behemoth has been reincarnated as a battery-powered beast. This new Hummer EV is designed to tackle the toughest terrains while leaving a minimal carbon footprint. The Hummer EV, as it's known, is a far cry from its fuel-thirsty ancestor. It boasts cutting-edge technology, impressive range, and a sleek, modern design. It's still big, it's still brash, but it's no longer a drain on the planet. The Hummer EV is equipped with advanced features like regenerative braking and fast-charging capabilities. Will this new, environmentally conscious Hummer succeed? Only time will tell. The market's response has been cautiously optimistic, with many intrigued by this unexpected twist in the Hummer's story. But one thing's for sure. The Hummer's story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of excess and the importance of adapting to a changing world. The Hummer EV represents a new chapter, one that embraces innovation and sustainability while honoring its rugged legacy.